Yeah. So yeah, with that. So with our athletes and you, like lacrosse, hockey, all that kind of stuff, that definitely aligns, right? It's more of like a violent, like, you know what I mean? Golf's a little bit different, where almost
Yeah,
you
yeah,
almost want to detach your mind from a lot of this stuff because you're just playing yourself.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
a sport against you. Like, yes, there's other people on the leaderboard, but they're not doing anything to you to make you play worse, and you can't do anything to them to make them play worse other than playing really good, and then that gets in their head.
yeah,
So a lot of the golf programming, right? Well, this is a beautiful thing about athletes is if you're training for a specific thing, then you should be thinking about the thing that you're getting better at the whole time. So a lot of the movements, right, in terms of like squats for golf, the place where you generate the most power is the very top part of that squat motion, right? That's where it translates the most to the golf swing. So like if you're thinking of that, and I put that into my players' minds as much as I possibly can when I'm talking to them on our weekly calls, and it's like that's what this does. And that's in hopes that they're thinking about the golf swing while they're doing these motions and knowing that that's the part where they really need to explode through the movement. But also a lot of what I do with the lunges and things like that is trying to make it as mind numbing and not mind numbing, mindless as possible, right? Doing something so many times over and over again that it is second nature for them to generate power from the ground. So now they don't know why their swing's getting faster. It's just the fact that their body is just better at
yeah,
creating power from the ground. Um, and that is another thing that's just like very important in terms of like the golf side, because now they're just like, oh, I feel like my swing's faster, but I feel like I'm swinging uh in first gear, right? Like it's my fairway finder.
yeah,
I'm like, it's by design. And we don't need to talk about why it's happening. Just keep doing the things that you're doing on a daily basis, and it's going to keep happening. And that's really important. And that's one thing where golf is very different from a lot of other sports. It's literally you versus you and how long you can keep yourself in it mentally, to keep it going, right? And if everything aligns and you're mental and you're hitting the ball and the breaks are going your way because some of it's kind of out of your control at some points, right? It's breaks going your way, but also in bad breaks, you're keeping your head in it. And all of those things kind of align in the right way. That's when you win.
yeah,
And in a training program, we should be setting it up in a way to give every single tool to you that now it just comes down to you, the ball, and the club in your hand. And that's all that matters. You've done everything that you could possibly do up to this day to just be like, I'm going to win. There's nothing else than the golf game, right? I'm not going to be tired on Sunday. I'm not going to be tired on the course or mentally fogged out or feel like I'm just mentally drained by 18 or any of that other stuff. We've done the work in the diet, the training, and the preparation that now it's literally just let's go play some good golf.
yeah,
That's and it's like that for everybody. And what you were just saying is preparing in that aggressive way while you're lifting for those other sports is very important too, because you need to be in that mental place during those. You can't just be like nonchalant and be like, okay, everything's detached mentally from this, because it's very different, right? You have
yeah,
me and you need to go out and get that person. But it's
yeah. It's finding ways you could be mindful with how you are training, your experience with it. And I think I think it's so cool kind of talking about the different types of mental experiences and the mindsets. But really, the biggest one that is invariable is, you know, what you had mentioned. Readiness is a state when everything that we're doing, right? Everything that we're providing for you as an athlete in the program to prepare you mentally, physically, with the nutrition and everything, right? It's so that when you get out there on the course or on the ice or the field for that game day, right? It's no longer about what I need to do to be ready. Now I am ready, and viewing that as the opportunity to see all of the hard work you've been putting into yourself. Now you get to find out where that new baseline and benchmark is. You get to see all of your hard work play out. You get to experience that new version of yourself you've been working towards.
Nothing is ever owed to you. And if you don't truly feel that you deserve it in your heart, it won't happen.
Amen.
Leave,
Amen.
leave 0 stones unturned. So when it comes to that day, you know that you deserve it, and then it's going to happen. That's how, if you slack off in any area and don't feel like you did your best to get to a certain point, then there might be that slight hint of a doubt in your mind that maybe you don't deserve to get what's coming to you. Right? But if you do everything to lead up and prepare, and you go into the day knowing that you've checked every single box that you needed to check to get to your goal, then in your heart of hearts, you know that you deserve it, and you're going to be able to execute on what you want to do because of that.
Amen. I love that. Stamp that home. LFG, baby.
All right. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. We're going to